Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 355. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, yo, yo.
Adam Vale,
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Brett Murdoch,
What up?
and Brian Manjoma.
How about we don't pirate games that just came out?
Yeah,
How
that
about
might
you
be
don't
a
tell
good
me what
idea.
to do, boss, okay?
Yeah, how about we don't do that? We may have a question about that, Brian. Just so you
Who's
know.
pirating what? What the hell?
Oh
What's
yeah,
it?
no, we'll get into it. We'll get into
All
it.
right.
We'll get into it. You know who is texting me right now? Like, bro,
The manga guy.
the manga guy.
You know who it is.
You know who it is. What's going on,
Mhm.
people? All right, a couple of things here for you. Regulars on Twitch. You may notice some things are a little bit different. Where's the city at, Tony? Where's the city at? All right, I had to kind of redo my entire OBS thing. As you can see, I got most of it right, except I don't know how to do the opaque transparency chroma key shit. I need Manny for that, and he's not at Comic Con anymore. He was doing Comic Con, so when he returns, he will get everything up and running. He had a good time at Comic Con, which is good. I went yesterday. Kind of whack, bro. Kind of whack. Because the big comic book companies weren't even there. No DC, no Marvel, and then to my surprise, no Midtown Comics. I'm like, what?
No LMG either. Didn't the Major League Gaming they
I
should
didn't-
do shows here too.
I didn't see none of that. Like the biggest presence I saw, it was a lot of anime. Bandai Namco was there. Viz was there. It was like the big anime convention base. I'm like, where the fuck is the comics?
It's crazy. It's crazy that the biggest comic convention in Midtown doesn't have Midtown Comics.
Yeah. Midtown Comics, for you guys who don't know, is like the biggest comic book seller, in New York City. So, and they're always at every single one of these cons,
And what's cool, a lot of people don't know this. If you go to their website, they also have an app and all this other stuff. But what's cool is that because they're so big, they get a lot of artists that come in and do signings.
Yep.
So if you go on their website, you can order all kinds of signed autographed comics. First print, they put a nice little certificate. I got a bunch hanging up on the wall from comics. I was like, oh wow, okay, I'll pick this up $10-12. Next you know, they're turning it into a series and shit. I got Thief of Thieves signed. I got Paper Girl, which is coming out on one of these networks, signed by the artist and the writer. It's awesome, and you can get those from the website. So
because you got to remember, not DC, not anymore, but for most of their life, Marvel, DC, there's Marvel's still based out of New York, so they would just go to fucking Midtown Comics, when a new book was out. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But yeah, the show must keep going. So let's get into the first question. Do I have the chirons?
Real quick, wait. Were there a lot of people?
It was a good amount, but it was not as much as before. It was actually easy to get around.
And stuff with that.
Yeah, there were still cosplayers. No Lady Dimitrescu. I was very disappointed by that. I was expecting that, But it's funny. Like there were cosplayers, but not as much as usual, But then again, not as many as people as usual either,
Did you go as press or did you go as just the?
Yeah, I went as press. Ironically, I got a press badge for a PC mag, which I no longer work for,
So that's probably from before.
And that's the other thing too. I went into the press room. That shit was dead too. Only a couple of reporters. Because usually when I go up to the press room, I know about half these motherfuckers. But since it was half empty, I'm like, I only know this one dude in the back. I went to go say hi to him. His name's Peter. I may appear on this podcast. We've been talking about it for 2 years. We keep forgetting about it. But press room was dead. Shit was just dead overall, man. But I can't say because the first Comic Cons were like smaller in scale too, but like since they were all about comics, you felt that energy, It's like barely any comics there. I mean, you go to Artist Alley, there's a bunch of comic book artists, obviously, but that's where Manny was. But yeah,
any toy collectors? Usually there's a lot of toy vendors.
Yeah, but me personally, Adam, I don't care about that, so I didn't bother. I know you probably would have liked that, but there were a couple, but I don't care about that shit, so I didn't bother. I only stayed for about 3 hours, then I dipped, But yeah, that's that. All right, let's get into it. Questions. The first one is from Mob Hits. All right. With Microsoft and Google establishing footholds in the cloud gaming space, is cloud gaming a good alternative to traditional gaming right now? If you have a good, I wouldn't say, even if you have a good computer, no.
No, because it's all about the connection and the lag. Like we still experience that, even with Game Pass, as butter as it is as a service. You still have that latency. There's still that delay. If you try to play a fighting game, it's not going to be on point with the reactions of just having something physically in front of you. So eventually it'll get there, and with the buffering and all that stuff, but it's not quite there yet. But it's close. It's
getting
definitely
there.
playable.
By the way, real quick, got to give a shout out to my man Armando, aka Chancleta Mangu, for subscribing. Low 16. Damn, everybody subscribing tonight. Let's go.
So
Thank you.
Shout out to OG Dungeon Geek. I think is that Frankie B?
Is
He
that Frankie
gifted,
B? Oh shit.
He gifted all those subs, so appreciate that, man.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. By the way, huge shout out to Frankie B, man. He's the one that helped me out with my new PC. I am chilling right now, bro. So thank you for that. But yeah, Adam, like in my experience, like, testing out games, but again, this is on files, but as shit.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even notice any lag. I know it's there, but I didn't see it. But the thing is, like, think about it like this, right? From my perspective, at least, right? Okay, I'm playing this on my PC, right? Streaming, right? So I'm like GeForce Now or whatever, right? Like, why would I stream GeForce Now, which has my Steam game, so I could just open up Steam instead, right?
No, if you have the setup for it, it's fine. But like
Yeah.
for example, I have an NVIDIA Shield set up in the living room, and I put GeForce Now because that's how they're actually integrated into it because the whole Google thing and all that. And it worked. I was playing Doom and
Yes.
Doom before Doom got pulled. And occasionally I came across certain things like when there was a lot of monsters, or if I would move from area to area, there was like a weird load delay. I'd move left and it'd be like, and then eventually, but then it worked out. But I knew it was still very playable.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's a matter of time, just like a year or two before we get that shit super smooth.
I
Where
agree.
you probably won't, where you won't notice the difference.
Yeah, but right now it's not a good alternative. It's an okay alternative if you have no choice.
Yeah,
you
if you have
know?
no choice, perfect. $4.99 for GeForce, I think that's what it is. And
Yeah,
if you have a bunch of PC
because
games
like,
already.
let's just say if you have like a kind of mid-tier PC and shit, it is a good alternative.
Yeah.
It actually is, but not right now. Overall,
Or shit, if you just have like a tablet and you don't have any consoles, get Game Pass and a controller and you're straight.
Yeah.
That's it. You don't even need any of that stuff.
I think it'll take longer than that.
Ooh.
You think more than 2 years?
I agree. Actually, see, Chris, I say maybe 5 years, but you probably say longer,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I'd say that's a good estimate, like 5 to 7 years, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
With Google and Microsoft, they can only do so much with their technology. They can't overcome the lack of infrastructure in certain places.
Yeah, it's out of their
So,
control.
Exactly.
Yeah, so unless Google is going to go out and go, yeah, we're laying down fiber again, and just like buy up land and just lay out, they can't solve that. So it would be nice if they would loosen the regulations so that municipalities could run their own fiber, and then you could have like small town files, right? Not
Yeah.
like a big company files and whatever, and just have high speed internet everywhere. Then that would solve their problems. I think it would solve a lot of problems, but especially with that, like the technology and like kind of the AI and all that stuff, it can only get so good till you're like, we can't overcome the slow bandwidth. We just don't have it. So that needs to be fixed.
Yeah, no, the infrastructure definitely needs to get up there. That's gonna, like, I think the technology for streaming is there. It's just the infrastructure. Again, if you live in a big city and stuff, you're good to go. But other than that, nah. So still, it's gonna take some time, people. All right.
Well,
Yeah, what's
also,
up?
another thing to take into account. I don't even know if Chris said this, but if it is a best alternative to do cloud gaming instead of doing the traditional method, then that means that there's more people doing this, which means more bandwidth on cellular networks, ISPs or all that stuff. So people might get limited. What if someone's playing in 4G or 5G and it's a lot of people play video games now, so they're all streaming. That means there's that possibility of less bandwidth. So who knows? Could be data caps and stuff, or it gets throttled or something like that. So
Yeah, well,
I don't
that's
know.
the other thing. Yeah, behind the scenes, it could be throttling. So, yeah, you're getting this great 1080p, 60 FPS experience, and then all of a sudden, the system's like, well, you're taking too much bandwidth. Slow that.
Yeah, so I think it's going to take a while. We're close. We're really close. The technology's there. Game Pass is one of the probably, in my opinion, it's probably the best, or
Oh yeah.
xCloud in particular, it's probably the best cloud service for, in my opinion. So I played that. It's pretty good. So it just, everyone needs to be in sort of close to ideal positions to do that. And I think when most people are able to do that, I think that's when the best time to call that transition is.
Yo, Carlos, dude, Mecha goes, try living in a small island country on the other side of the planet. Oh man.
Yeah,
Living on Middle
that is
Earth.
true.
That shit ain't easy, man. They
Yeah,
got
man,
hobbits and shit.
you you ain't got 5G in the Hobbiton.
Yeah, right, hobbiting. All right, man. Anything else you guys want to say
Shout out to
about?
New Zealand.
Yeah, you already know, man. Anybody else want to say anything about the cloud gamings? That is a no, so we'll move on. Next topic here. I believe this is also from Mob Hits. Actually, we're kind of skipping this one because he asked us, would we rather have remakes or remasters? We answered it a while ago. I think we all said remakes, preferably.
Yes.
Although some remasters are good too,
And there's the tweeners too.
Yeah, the tweeners, exactly. Okay, so the question we will be answering is, what gaming franchise should get the JRPG treatment specifically? Interesting. So I'm guessing
it's like a Yakuza question?
Yeah, like a Yakuza type of deal, Like, and his example was he wants Mega Man X to get the JRPG treatment.
Huh.
Mm. Yeah, Mario got it, and it's been pretty good.
Yeah,
Sonic also got it.
Yeah, Sonic, by BioWare, believe it or not.
Mega Man. That's
Yeah, I don't
interesting.
know. Because like all the JRPG franchises already kind of exist, and like the ones that I'm like, oh, I want Bayonetta as an RPG. I was like, no, I'm good.
Well, it also, can it be a Western IP, or does it have to be a Japanese IP?
It could be whatever. Like, but again, it's like,
Because
do you really want Gears of War JRPG or RPG?
Oh.
Okay, yeah. Well, not Gears of War, but
I could see
We could expand
Destiny.
it. By the way, we could just say RPG in general. By the way, I'm purposely trying to get away from those terms, RPG and JRPG. You know what I'm saying? Like just RPG, man.
Well, actually, I prefer it because
Really?
every game has RPG elements. It's like people can bust out actually, Halo has RPG elements. Well, technically Destiny's an RPG, and all so it's a lot of those kinds of situations where a lot of games use RPG elements, but you can't really say Destiny's a JRPG
No, no
because
way. That's true. But it's not really a Western RPG either, Not
it's
like
not,
yeah.
but it has those elements, and sometimes they come close.
Do they have perks and all that shit? By the way, that's a whole other conversation. I don't like the fact that RPG mechanics have spilled over into everything. That's kind of annoying.
Almost everything has it.
Yeah, I'm like,
true.
why can't games just be games? Or rather, why can't RPGs just be RPGs by themselves? Like, why the fuck do I need skill trees in Halo? I don't need that shit. I remember, Adam, you'll like this story because I've never played Gears of War, the first one until 2015. Right? That game had nothing. It was just you and a gun. It was fantastic. That's it. Just you and a fucking gun. You go behind
With a
cover.
chainsaw.
Yo, by the way, shout out again to Frankie B. He's
man.
the bits, man.
The bits.
Shout out to Frankie
The
B.
bits. Ooh.
Yeah, dropping them.
Luck is hard.
But it's frustrating. It's like every game I go, here we go. Progression levels, like why do
God
we
of
need?
War.
Yeah, exactly. Like and now the new thing is, and they got this from WoW, I believe. The whole like color system, like was it green, blue, purple, gold? Like, oh, you want that gold shit? That's the best stuff.
It's
Fuck that
things
green
that open
shit.
up your eyes and
Yeah.
keep you awake, so you can keep playing. I think what it is that's what it's just like with the schools. Remember, all the classrooms were blue, and why? Because they were like it wakens up the eyes and the mind. It was like this whole thing behind it. That's why all the classrooms were blue.
Yeah, but again, it's like you keep getting the same armor pieces, but this one's gold, this one's purple. It's like, oh, come on, why do I have to deal with this shit? Like if I want to deal with it, I'll play an RPG.
Yeah. But when it comes to why we have all those elements, it's just like everything else that happens. It's like, oh, it's a few of them do it, and then it works out, and they start selling, and then somebody back in the main office says, hey, what if we added some of that? They take a shot in the dark, and if it works, it works, and then they keep going with it. And then another big franchise says, "Hey, it worked for these guys. We can do it too." And then the ball just keeps rolling. That's how we got Horde mode. Remember, Horde mode was in Gears.
Yeah.
And the next, every other fucking game had their own version of a Horde mode, and that became almost a fixture in multiplayer modes. You had PvP, you had capture flags, and you had to have a Horde mode.
Yeah, no,
And
you're
then
right.
Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
Drama.
Man.
Left 4 Dead is essentially a horde mode game. It's just
it's consistent.
It
And
is,
you're just running through it. You're running through the horde, and you just have to keep going.
But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I don't know how I like it. By the way, the other reason I think a lot of games are getting JRPG elements or RPG elements, excuse me, it's like because they extend the playtime, right? Remember the whole thing 2 generations ago in PS3 it was like they would tack on a multiplayer mode to prevent you from selling the game again.
Oh yeah.
So now they do that to just and then then there's DLC.
They charge you $10. Remember that? They were charging you $10 just to play the multiplayer. And if you bought it new, you had a code that you had to enter.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't like that. I know we didn't answer the question, but it's like I think most of us don't really want games that are established to be turned into RPGs. You got one?
Metroid.
Turn that into a turn-based RPG. That'd be interesting.
I feel like there's probably a knockoff that we missed that's already done that. You know what I mean? There's always
Metroidvania RPG.
I'm tired of that term.
It can't just be any game. It has to be a franchise that has a good story. Like if you try to do Sonic, it's like, well, what kind of story
it.
Sonic?
It already happened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, BioWare did it.
BioWare did it. Yeah.
But like does it even have a good story?
Yeah,
it's
it was on a
praised.
DS.
Yeah. People actually praise it. This was old school BioWare though, so you know how they get down. But yeah, even Sonic could get a good story.
Well, they used up all that good karma on that game and not on Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that shit.
Well, you know what? Yeah, make that into one. That way, maybe you could fix this shit. The one that we got is still fucking booty.
Yeah, right. All fucked up. All right, man. Let me set up the next question here, but I don't know. I generally like it's cool, but it's like leave it alone for the most. Let the Metal Gear, the turn-based game. Like, all right, come on, you're missing the point here now.
Yeah, they tried that with Metal Gear Acid.
Oh,
it's a card game. Yeah, it doesn't work.
It's even worse. Card battle games.
I can see something like
what happened, Brian?
Mass Effect being like a turn-based game, like in the vein of XCOM.
Yep.
Yeah, I like XCOM type. Those.
Yeah.
I still want to play Gears Tactics. Fuck, I'm slacking. I should have played that a long time ago. I kept saying it was on Game Pass.
I removed that tattoo now, man. You're not about that life. You're not about that life no more, man.
About Gears proper.
Fake,
Gears proper. Mothership.
Fake, man.
I don't stress the spin-offs. Something off.
All right, let's move on, man.
I didn't really like Halo Wars. I played the first one and the second one.
I loved Halo Wars.
You loved it? You loved it?
Yeah, but I came from I used to play Warcraft and StarCraft.
That's why I thought I would like it because I loved the StarCraft. Space Marines and all that. That was fun. I don't know. I just didn't really put a lot of time into it. I told you the story about when I bought it at 3 a.m. at Toys R Us, right? I told you that story.
Adam's story.
We got Adam's story.
Hey, he got another one. By the way, interesting. Go ahead, Adam. Tell your story.
Oh, you want to hear? All right, it was quick. Right, so when I lived in Spanish Harlem, my cousin came over, and my other cousin, Daniel, and we were hanging out and we were playing some games. Something I forgot what it was, and he was remember that Halo? Didn't they say making the Halo game or something? I was like, what? Another one? He's like, yeah, it's like some like StarCraft type thing. And he played a lot of WoW and stuff, so he was a PC gamer. So I went on the computer. Now this time it's like 1:30 in the morning, and I found it. I was like, oh, it's out. And he's like, oh, all right. And then we just kept playing some game. Then it was like 2 in the morning. It's like, yo, we should get it. I was like, yeah, let's go get it. So we went out to the corner. We called a cab. We head down to 42nd Street. Remember the big Toys R Us?
Yeah.
It was 24/7.
Yeah.
24/7 Toys R Us, only in fucking America. We have a Toys R Us that's open 24/7. So we walk in there and the shit was packed. That's the other crazy shit. Packed the people. We go to the game room. We say, yeah, we want to get this. You got it? Yeah, got it. Got home. It's like 3:30 in the morning. We're over here playing Halo Wars, and we picked up at Toys R Us at 3 in the fucking morning.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Only in New York, man. Only in New York.
Man. I knew that place. Remember that fucking place had a Ferris wheel.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, it had the T-Rex. when you went in the
I
second
said,
floor
shit, the Bat
in
Cave.
the restaurant? Yeah, that was crazy, man. That place was nuts.
That's nuts, man. All right, good
I miss
stuff.
that place.
Oh, hold on. This is comment. Logic Win said, I need to address this real quick. He goes, I'm surprised Gears Tactics isn't on Switch yet. Are Xbox games on Switch?
No,
Yeah,
but
like-
I know what he's talking about. That was one that I really thought when we were hearing this quote unquote rumors of a
Yeah.
partnership, that one made more sense. I was like, this wouldn't be that graphically intense. They can pull it off if they want to test the waters, you know, and not put a Gears proper edition like the Gears Ultimate remake, which should definitely work on it. But yeah, I agree. I really thought that would have been a nice fit. And yeah, who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe
or,
one
yeah,
day.
okay. He has a good point. He says the Ori collection's on Switch, but that's not first party though.
That's not first party.
That's not first party.
That was exclusive on there for a little while, but
Yeah.
that's not. It's like the Cuphead situation.
Hellblade is also not a first party game.
Yeah,
you know,
it's. I think the only first party game that they do have on there is Minecraft.
Yeah, but even that was originally not.
Yeah, but they own it now. It's got the big Microsoft logo and that.
But
shit
it got
boots up.
grandfathered in, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he says I haven't been to that Times Square Toys R Us since college, bro. Let me find
It's
out you from
gone.
New York too, bro.
Yeah, those days are over, buddy. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit. That's a lot of those
It's been
spots
gone.
are gone.
Yeah. That's why I had him.
The
That's why you don't even care about coming to New York. You're like nothing that you cared about is
all my spots are gone. That's gone. The Virgin Megastore that was right next to it is gone. I used to go there all the time for like signings and shit.
Yeah.
Because remember we had the Nokia Theater, the Best Buy Theater, which was right across the street.
Right.
Remember? So the artists would then be like, "Oh, we're gonna just do a signing across the street at Virgin Megastore before the concert," and we go there and get shit signed and stuff. That's gone. The Virgin Megastore that was down at Union Square, 14th.
That's gone, man. Because I go there, they're pretty often. I get so upset every time I see that shit, man. We used to go there all the fucking time, you know.
Roseland is gone. The last time I went there was with you guys when we went to see
Slayer.
Fucking Slayer. That was it.
Damn, man. Yo, I passed by Roseland when it was just a fucking hole, bro.
What's there now?
It's a fucking like business. It's either an apartment building or a business building. It's like man.
Not even an event center.
Nope.
Is the Shake Shack still there that we went to, Tony?
Oh yeah, that's still there. That's still there.
All right, good. All right, good.
That's still there.
I'm just, because you guys got all your, you guys got your nostalgic places. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
Pearl Paint. Pearl Paint is gone. I used to go there.
Pearl's gone. Yeah.
Yep, Pearl's gone.
Yo, Carlos, I passed by nearby your hotel the other day, man.
The New Yorker?
Yeah, the New
Yorker.
Yeah.
You went to the McDonald's?
I didn't go to McDonald's, but I was right in that area. You know, that shit is crazy.
MSG? You're probably going to the MSG or something like that?
Yeah. Well, no, remember I was going to Javits Center, you know?
Oh, that's right.
So many places have just disappeared. Like, that's the thing. Like, even, remember Forbidden Planet has moved like 3 times.
Yeah, that's right.
They had the big spot at the corner where it was huge area, and then you could go downstairs, and then they moved to the corner of the block, the opposite street, and right there, and that's had 3 floors where it was upstairs and they had it downstairs, and then now they're in the middle of the block, and then in another smaller spot. Things change, and I get it. Things change, but it hurts because it just good memories. All the music spots I used to visit on St. Mark's are all fucking gone.
Yeah, man.
St. Mark's is the same.
St. Mark's. I sent Adam a picture of St. Mark's the other day, man. He got upset as a motherfucker.
Oh, God. That comic shop, remember?
Yeah.
St. Mark's Comics.
That's right.
Coney Island High that was next to it.
Not Coney Island, but they got some school around there now, you know?
It's a school?
They got a college in that area around St. Mark's.
Because Coney Island High was a club that was just next to right there on St. Mark's.
Okay, no, I think that's gone too, man.
Yeah.
All right, man, let's move on. Next question here. This is from Logic Wins. What's going on, man? All right, this question is, with GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition officially announced, is ray tracing a possibility for the PS5 Series X versions? I have a suspicion that Rockstar will sell these versions for $70 and use ray tracing to justify it. Interesting theory. We do know. Okay, by the way, it's been confirmed, right? Unreal Engine, that's what these are running on. Remember, that was the rumor before.
It's confirmed that's what it's on and it's coming out, but I don't know if they're really going to do any big improvements besides that it's built on it. I don't think they're going to go all out.
Yeah, I doubt they're going to put ray tracing or anything like that, you know? Because they don't need to. Not really.
They don't. Then just think about it. It's already the day that they got announced, people were hyped. Once those pre-orders, people don't give a shit if it's in 8-bit. They're gonna go and fucking pre-order shit to buy it, just to have it.
Yeah, and the games are going to be running on mobile too, so don't expect a lot.
Yeah, that was a big one. When I saw mobile, and my buddy's like, "You think they mean Switch?" I'm like, "Well, it's got to be on Switch because they said all major platforms."
No, if it was Switch, they would say Switch. You know, it's mobile.
But it
means this
but
shit.
it is on Switch. But they did say it is on Switch. They confirmed it, but we'll see. The fact that it's on mobile that brings some worry because they have to change the controls for that.
Yeah.
They're going to put that on-screen shit.
The guys are saying that the prices were leaked and they're $60. Fill me in.
I don't know. I didn't see prices.
I didn't see prices. You let me find out, guys. But yeah, I doubt they're gonna put bells and whistles like that
because it's still what San Andreas
is GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Yeah.
So
the PS2 games basically.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be reworked.
No.
I think it's probably going to be a little dumbed down version of the ones that we got on PC.
As a matter of fact, I think the reason they're on Unreal is because it's easier to port to many different platforms.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the reason,
sure.
For
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're not going to have ray tracing.
No. Again, the only reason they did Unreal is because it'll be easier for them,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. That was a simple one. Moving on here.
Are you guys looking forward to it?
Damn right I am.
I'll play it.
I'm hyped.
I'll play it.
Same here.
Yeah,
it's
GTA, man.
It's GTA.
You're right. I haven't played them since they originally came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. The thing is, I know Vice City you could play on PS4/PS5 right now. It's there,
You can
so
play
San Andreas.
So is San Andreas, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, man, can I get my save from my PS2 with my mansion?
You can't do that.
It's I think a few of them are backward compatible because that's how I have my Grand Theft Auto 4 on the Xbox.
Yeah,
I can still play that. That's backward compatible and it's supported. So I have to see. I haven't checked in a while.
I just imagine Chris. He's like playing Vice City and he has a spaceship and shit, like GTA 4. Or what is it? Submarine?
GTA 3.
Oh yeah.
GTA San Andreas. Yeah. Well, I mean San Andreas. Well, hold on. Was it San Andreas? That's the one where you got your like fighter pilot shit going on. You know.
Yeah.
That game went off the rails. Yeah.
And you even had a jetpack. I remember they had this one Easter egg. So with the jetpack, this is the only way you could reach this thing. You go all the way to the top of their equivalent of the Golden Gate Bridge, and they're like, "What the hell are you doing up here? Get your ass back down! You got too much time on your hands." Like that, Rockstar literally said that. It was hilarious, you know. Check Pio on Twitter for price leak. Pio, great guy. He's actually one of the few people on Twitter that's like positive all the time, which is great. But I'm like, can you really trust him as a source, bro? I don't know about that. You know,
it's like we'll find out. We'll find out soon. It's $60. That's not that far fetched because we see a lot of these games coming out, especially these older ones, and then they just throw it out there $60. If that doesn't sell within like a month, it's $40.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy if they're selling it for 60. But
is it still coming? Well, we don't know the release, but I think a lot of people assume based off of what we saw in the 2K report of their release list, and they said, "Oh, the 2 unannounced titles or whatever coming this holiday season," and now it looks like this is one of them. We'll see if this comes out for the holidays. That might be a thing. If they do it digital, that could definitely be a thing.
Okay, this is interesting. So yeah, this dude, he took these screenshots. I don't know where he got these from. And these are like British prices, whatever. So 65 for the trilogy, right? 65 across the board. For PS5, 76.
So that means it would be $70?
Yeah,
no, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe that shit. There's no way. For what? It's not going to be.
Games?
Yeah, come on now. We already know it's not going to have all the bells and whistles. They're not bumping that shit to 4K or anything.
Yeah, so for most of these, it's 65 shillings, whatever the fuck the currency is over there, and then 76.85 for the Xbox Series X and PS5 versions. Very interesting. What else?
Well, we should, Brian, on your UK sites, do you see anything? You're out there. That's the motherland.
Which sites are you?
Any sites? Any of your local sites? Any of the local UK gaming sites saying anything about this price? Trying to confirm it because this leak saying that it came from a UK outlet.
No, I've not seen any, but I'll get back to you.
Yeah, find out about that. But yeah, like again, I think they're just going, it's on Unreal, so whatever, we're gonna charge you more. All right, man.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
I don't believe it though. I mean, I could see it for 60. I could see him put the $70. What for to play it on the newer consoles when it's an old ass game?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, wait to see. We're not gonna buy it right. Oh, we're not gonna believe it right now. Let's just say that.
I'm not believing that.
Yeah. All right. Move on here. This is another cloud gaming question from Kishak. How do you guys feel about the Switch getting cloud versions of games like Kingdom Hearts series? It feels like developers don't think it's worth porting to Switch or the hardware. Okay, does it feel like the developers just don't care about porting to Switch, or is the hardware showing its age? Hardware showing its age is day one, bro.
Yeah.
The hardware's dated.
It's been dated.
It was dated when it loaded. When it came out, it was old. It was already old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
And
way
he's still
too
about
difficult.
a third of those motherfuckers.
It's just it'll be way too difficult to rework those games to be on the Switch. They would lose too much
I got my
fidelity
OLED.
and all that stuff. So it's much easier to do that where the games can look the same as the counterparts on
dropped it.
Xbox and PS5.
On PS2.
Well,
These are
all right,
PS2
well.
games, man.
Oh, these
Yeah,
are PS2 games. Well, okay. Well, I just think like that's what they are trying to do is just keep the look and feel of it, not rework it. But like I said, they did a RE7 test in Japan that did not go well, so I don't have much faith in this cloud gaming on Switch thing.
A few of them. And
Isn't Control supposed to be available through cloud gaming on Switch, or am I tripping? I thought I heard
remember
that.
something
Really?
like
that was
Yeah.
probably one of them. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a Tales of Two Brothers. I think that one was released that way. There was a few. We
What?
did some. I don't remember.
That's an
maybe-
indie game.
It's maybe that's not. I don't remember what it was. We did over at the Coalition. We did I think 2 or 3 of those. I definitely know 2 of them cloud based, and they didn't go well.
Uh-oh.
They didn't go well. So I'll find it. But I know that was an issue, and it was just the performance, the lag, and then just some buffering, and then that type of thing going on. That could be either the game or just the hardware not having the buffering space and the RAM to do it, or it could be the network. It could be a bunch of things.
I got a list, and I think I know what game Adam is talking about. The first one, Resident Evil 7, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yo, who's eating potato chips right now, man?
That didn't come out yet, though.
Well, it's probably
Honestly,
it's probably bread or something.
Yeah.
Phantasy Star Online 2,
it wasn't that one.
Control Ultimate Edition, Hitman 3, and this is the one, Adam. I'm pretty sure it's this one, A Plague Tale.
That's it. There you go.
I don't know why, but I just assumed like that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
There
you
go.
think
Yeah,
Brothers,
that's
you
it.
think Plague, right? Maybe natural fit.
That's it. The Cootie Tail. Yep, that shit.
The Forgotten
shit.
City, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Dying Light 2, which comes out. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy
No,
doesn't
but
come out, comes out in October 26th.
Yeah, but the Dying Light, Dying Light 2, you said?
Yo, they said
Yeah,
I thought
Alan
it was
Wake
a Dying
coming.
Light because the Dying Light one that they're porting over is an actual game. It's not streaming, so I didn't know they were doing the sequel as a stream.
Yeah, they're doing that
cloud-based.
one when it comes next year, February 4th.
Oh my god.
And then the Plague Tale Requiem next year, Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, 2.8, and 3. And those are all TBAs. Those Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna what Chris just said about cloud gaming. I don't know. It's dubious, you know. Your bargaining posture is highly dubious, Nintendo.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're doing it because they want to. Games aren't scalable like a lot of the narrative was at the beginning of this generation.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, this is their answer for trying to get those type of games on the console with not really getting it on the console. It's not using the power of the console. It's using the power of wherever it's being fed, just like the G4 system, just like xCloud is doing. This is just their way of doing it, just game by game base, as opposed to just a whole service. And who knows? Maybe, and that was the thing that people were thinking that, with the Nintendo Online service, we're going to get GameCube games, and we're going to get N64, and then we'll probably get some streaming ones for some of the harder ones. We didn't get any of that shit, But, yeah, it's a thing. That's what they want to do.
Yeah. All right. Next question. Who is this? Oh, also Kid Shack. Controversial question.
Oh,
Or actually controversial subject, because this was all the rage on Twitter today, boy. Kotaku released an article advocating piracy on Metroid Dread. This is true. A game that's only been out for 2 days. Should a gaming news site be doing this so early in a game's lifespan?
Wait. I think was it just talking about the fact that it was already pirated?
No. They said.
Oh no.
Brian, you want to take this one or should I?
Do it, Brian. Make it.
How are you, Tony?
All right. So, and this was early in the morning. So Kotaku puts out this article where they basically said, "Hey, you could play Metroid Dread emulated, and it's fucking great." They basically, and then
Holy shit!
4K. Yeah. I did see that.
They not only that, they talked about how wonderful the game looks. They went to the sites that posted the the process of how to download it and stuff, and detailed it and everything. And then at the end, it's like, yeah, piracy is fantastic. It's a great way to get games.
They posted all of that.
All of that. So you know what happened next, right? Everybody got on their ass. Everybody. So then they went around and they edited it. They claim they said they edited it, but like by that time the damage was done. But before that, the writer, he doubled down. He doubled down on it. He was like, yeah, this is how I feel. I think it's great. And then he backtracked like, oh yeah, I understand how people could be upset by what I said.
But what if it was his fucking game and he worked on that shit and he saw that thing come out? Come on now. And you post links. It's one thing to say, hey, there's a rip-off version and it's modded and that's the 4K support. It's out
Didn't pirate it. I got the motherfucker right here.
Don't go and spread it and say, yo, here's a link. Here's how you do it.
So here's his update. It says an earlier version of this story was understood by many readers to be direct suggestion to illegally download this just released game. We regret this interpretation. Kotaku believes emulation is a vital part of the world of gaming, not least when it comes to gaming preservation. While not directly encouraging anyone to break the law and download games they have not purchased. We believe our readers are intelligent adults capable of making such choices for themselves.
All right, bro.
All right.
Boy,
all right,
bro.
All right, bro.
Such bullshit.
It's like, and then on the bottom it says, yeah, you don't have to get vaccinated. Fuck this shit.
What interpretation is there?
I don't know. Like,
that's be like, warning. You don't want to drink. You might have a really great time if you drink some whiskey or blah blah blah. It's a nudge and a wink. What the fuck, man?
I mean, when you literally, but they edited this line out. When you literally have a line going, "Thank God for piracy," I don't think there's any other way to interpret that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like their excuse is just so fucking ridiculous. Like, oh no, we're sorry that some people interpret it like that. But like, that was the point of the article that you wrote. You weren't lamenting the state of piracy in the industry. You were being like, hey, even if you were being like, oh, we directly support this, you're still telling people, did you know you can pirate this game?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Who's the editor?
Their new editor, Patricia Hernandez, I believe.
She's not doing shit. She's probably letting them just write whatever they want, because I can't imagine an editor saying, you know what? Yeah, that looks good. That makes sense.
Well, my theory is that she was like, yo, change that shit after the flack they got. But Kotaku, again, I'm not trying to talk about another publication too much, but over the last few months, man, it's like every week is something new with them, and like, everybody from every site gets pissed off at them. Here's the thing. When it comes to game emulation, right? I understand if you have an old game on a dead console, yeah, you emulate it. Yeah. There's no other way to play it. But
they're not exactly. They're not like they're selling it.
For you guys listening, I'm holding Metroid Dread in my hands. This came out 2 days ago. Why would you tell people pirate it? It's insane, and that's where I'm coming at it from. Like, as a responsible journalists, how could you do something like that? It's insane to me.
I guess they're not invited to any more Nintendo parties.
Yeah, right. I guess. I mean, Kotaku's already burned so many bridges. I guess they don't care anymore. But
it doesn't even feel like the same one. It feels like a weird, and
then there were people defending them. On top of that, like, people were gonna pirate games anyways. Like, that, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
Man.
I was like, we know there's crack rocks and stuff out there, but no one's saying, "Hey, yo, go to Jimmy Cracky over here.
Yeah.
He's got a sale." And
Jimmy Cracky, you know.
I mean, it's just about the professionalism. You know,
exactly.
They're supposed to be a reputable, medium for video games, and it's like, why do you try to be like? I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's just the fact that they're going this direction is not. There's no way you can justify it.
They just want clicks. That's it. That's the only thing I can think of. They want clicks. The controversy will cause the clicks. They don't care how they get it.
The game, and it's not a game. It's like, oh, this game is a certain narrative that wants people. There's nothing. This game does not have any baggage tied to it. It's just a fucking Metroid game that's coming out.
That's out.
They made this.
No, there's no politics with it. It's just Metroid,
Yeah, where it's like
they don't have a reason to do it other than let me see if I can do this without getting anybody in trouble. Kotaku is an amazing publication that has really great, thorough writers, puts out quality products. So it's very surprising to see them do this.
I like that.
So, yeah.
See, Brad, I actually would like to indulge you in that, but I've been saying that Kotaku is trash for like years now. Not like 2 or 3 years. I mean, like for almost a decade now. Ever since they started just posting like, hey, some guy modded this game and here's a video of that as an article. I'm like, yeah, this is just trash. Like, this is not content. It's just posting someone else's stuff. You're officially just a bad version of Reddit at that point. If all you do is just take other people's content and then show it to people with no commentary, then yeah, I don't care about that. So I've been saying that they're trash for years, and people have been saying, "Oh, do you read the articles lately?" It's like, no, because it's trash, and every time I hear about them, it's always bad news. Like I never hear any good news about them. So hence I'm like, yeah, I don't read their crap.
Here's what I don't get. Like, I don't even understand why they're still around or relevant after the whole, they've been the same quality they have for years, going all the way back to them being the first to bite the hand that feed with the bullshit fucking Gamers Are Dead articles and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they got money and shit. Whoever owns them. I guess
so.
But yeah,
they get clicks because they're the fucking Jezebel of video game sites.
Oh.
But Brett, once I read you the excerpts, then it gets even better. So this is one of the really cool things I love about the internet. It's always forever. You can just go to the archives of the site and see what they took out of the edit, and it's really funny because I want a lawyer to come and read this and say is this okay or not okay? Because I have no idea. So This is the very first paragraph. So not deep in the you need to find it. No. Paragraph number 1. Hey, real quick, if you are a Nintendo lawyer or employee, just don't read this. It was a silly mistake. Ignore this blog. You can go now. Okay, everyone else, and then that's how they start.
Wow.
And, yeah. So to me, it seemed like they're just poking Nintendo and saying what can you do about it? Again, they talk about some stuff. I don't really care about it because it's just saying, hey, these are all the emulators, looks good in 4K, blah, 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 blah. Nonsense. And then, so the final paragraph, which is the last one there, just scroll down. If you want to play the rest of the Metroid franchise, you don't want to shell out large amounts of money on old consoles and games, your best bet is also emulation. As is often the case, Nintendo, like most game publishers, is really bad about maintaining access to their past games outside of a few big sellers. And the final line is, thank God for pirates, emulators, modders, and hackers.
Yeah, that was the original one.
Point. This was saved from the mist of the history of 2 days ago. I mean, it could have been lost to time by now.
Yeah.
And then they say that the message could have been interpreted as if to prompt people to pirate. I don't see how it's not interpreted
it's clear
as
as
that.
Day. black
we
and
end
white.
with
You
thank
drank
God
Pepsi,
for
let they
pirates
drink.
and
You
emulators.
touched
Yeah.
the ceiling.
You know what's funny, Brian? I was arguing with these, two guys, but actually friends, and they were referencing the new article, and I started posting some stuff from the old one. That shut them up pretty quick. Because they were like, they're not advocating for it at all, and they're showing me lines. And this is when I first learned they edited, because they're showing me lines from the article. I'm like, what? That wasn't in there. What the fuck is this shit? So then I went back to the old screenshots. I'm like, yeah, they changed the dude. They changed the shit. Yeah, but again,
Great
this game,
apology, though.
the only Metroid Dread and Piracy or pirates should only be in the same sentence because there are pirates in the game. That's it.
Well, I like how they didn't even actually apologize. They pulled one of those like, "I'm sorry you got offended."
Yeah. I'm sorry you're too stupid to understand, or that you misinterpreted it. Very insulting, So that's my beef on it. I'm like, yo, you're supposed to be a reputable fucking publishing entity, and you're doing this stuff. It's like, come on, man. You're making us all look bad,
Are they?
Well, I guess not. Yeah, not anymore, I guess.
Maybe that's why Jason left way before. He knew the shit was going downhill.
I don't know, man. Anyway,
Maybe.
I don't want to talk about Kotaku anymore. Let's move on, man.
Hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
go
on.
ahead, Brian.
And just so I can point this out because I love just pointing it out. This is the same bunch of people at Kotaku who will sit there and waggle their fingers at game devs for crunching a lot, and then say game devs shouldn't crunch because crunch is bad and game devs deserve more money, but yet pirate their games because you can do that. It's like, okay,
That's a great
cool.
point. Yeah.
How does that make sense? I have no idea. But yeah,
Different people that give a shit. Now
Yeah.
the people that don't give a shit.
That shit is crazy. All right, man. Moving on here. Tumeke, who's joining us tonight as Blitz. And his first question is, this is kind of funny. I got to read this whole thing. He goes, I managed to upset David Jaffe on Twitter by saying he shouldn't expect all games to be for him. I was responding to him complaining about Returnal, Kena, and Metroid being too hard, and that this was now a trend that would push gamers away. So his question is, are games, in fact, getting too hard? Personally, I think games are getting easier with all the generous save points, etc., and that we need more challenging games. Also, I hate the quote-unquote get good mentality, so this is not that. Yeah, you got David Jaffe upset. I don't think games are becoming. I think we're seeing a trend of like more difficult games coming, but I don't think by and large they're getting harder. They're as easy as they've always been. Like I think for the last 20 years, if you play a game, you're probably gonna beat it. But thanks to games like the Dark Souls games, they brought that shit back into fashion. The way games used to be. Just really challenging. Of course, Dark Souls. Of course, Dark Souls does it fair and challenging, not just brutal for the sake of being brutal. So yeah, I don't think they're getting easier. By and large, but yeah, it's the right side. If you don't want to play a game like Returnal and Kena, just don't play them. Simple as that. What do you guys think?
I disagree there, man.
You have to disagree. Okay, go ahead.
I do think that they're getting easier, and I'm going to use the whole get good thing as kind of an example of that. Now I'm going to start off by saying people using that shit to just talk shit on people or gatekeep. It's not what that shit was supposed to mean. It was supposed to just kind of be a smart ass way of saying yeah, the game is difficult, but the more you play it, the better you're going to get. And so you've just got to get good. There's no shortcut. There's no farming. There's nothing about it. You need to get better as a player. People then kind of, like I said, bastardize that, but the premise is still there. And I can't tell you how many people, and I hate saying this because nobody believes it on the front end, but then nobody believes this is a thing on the front end. Then they play a Dark Souls game. They go through the process of trial by fire. They get good. And then when you go back to other games, you just start face rolling through them like it's nobody's business. And I think any of you guys that actually, any of you guys that played the Souls games would admit that it kind of drops down the difficulty of other games once you kind of get used to it. So I think that wouldn't exist, or that couldn't exist, if the games weren't already kind of easier to begin with, because they're not really forcing the players to evolve or change or adapt. You just unlock a skill tree and the game gets easier.
Brett, I'm confused. Where do we disagree?
I thought you said you didn't think games were getting easier.
No, I said they are obviously are. I'm not saying they're getting easier, but they are way easier now than they used to be. Like I said, for the last 20 years, if you start a game, you're guaranteed to be able to finish it. You couldn't do that with a Nintendo game. You didn't know you were not going to beat those games. So you and I actually kind of agree. Games are pretty easy. I don't think they're getting easier, but I think they are easy overall. So I think we're on the same boat here, for the most part.
Well, some of the games are more slick about easing people in than others.
Yeah.
Like there are definitely games that will see how you're performing and adjust them accordingly.
Yeah.
Like reducing the number of guys or making them aim poorly or whatever if you keep dying, because they realize that you lose engagement when people just get too frustrated. Most people will just drop off. Like if they can't figure it out or they can't get past somewhere, they'll just stop playing. Right? If you want to keep people playing, it's like old Las Vegas rules, right? You got to throw a little money at them to keep them gambling, right? Same idea with video games. If you keep engagement going, if somebody keeps dying, they're going to walk away from the table. So you need to figure a way to adjust the difficulty that they think they overcame it, but you just adjusted it enough that it did get easier. They just don't see it, right? So there's some games do that. But there was definitely a curve, like like when we were growing up, like NES and Super Nintendo, whatever. Games were hard. They were brutally hard. You play Ninja Gaiden on the NES. I used to leave that shit on and not turn it off because I didn't want to lose my progress. As I got to the last boss, I had to go to bed. I paused that shit, turned off the TV, and put tape over the red light.
Your mom wouldn't see.
So she wouldn't see it. Yeah, she wouldn't see the red light. That's how serious that was. But when we got to the 2000s and we got to the 3D platformers, right, on PS2, those guys went, hey, I hated having to worry about how many lives I have, whatever. Now all of a sudden you play Jack and Daxter, whatever, you drop off a cliff, you're just right back on there. You don't have to worry about lives or anything. You just keep going, right? Death isn't really a problem. And so it's kind of swinging back the other way. Like then Souls got introduced. Everybody's like, oh yeah, you can make more challenging shit. Now it's kind of got off the rails. I think Returnal's off the rails with the rogue shit. They've gone crazy.
Yeah, but, that game is just fucking. Like that game actively hates you.
Yeah, where I don't think it's a fair challenge. Whereas Dark Souls, like there's nobody is moved. Like everybody's in the same place. You just have to figure your shit out. You could beat this guy. You just have to approach it differently. Returnal just hates you, man. They'll throw that boss. It's like, oh, I just left my ship. Bam! This guy all of a sudden.
Yeah, you open the first door. There's already a boss there. It's like, bro, really? What are we doing here?
Yeah. So definitely it's true. But what Brett's saying is absolutely true. And there's some games, especially even some Japanese games, they don't scale. So the power creep, you just go through the roof. So by the end game, you're like a walking god, and you're just like blasting everything in your way. Like you're wondering how you were having difficulty before. Like you had a slingshot, and all of a sudden you're walking through, and it's like, well, I got a 30 megaton cannon, and you're just fucking end everyone. And so some games are like that, where it's like, yeah, it was difficult early, and then all of a sudden you are just unstoppable. You get to the end. At least Souls isn't like that. I mean, even as juiced as you can get, like something will just destroy you. But yeah, some games they have that issue. So that may be where that impression comes from, where it's easier. It's not easier. It's just they haven't really figured out how to balance your progression with the equipment and whatever they're giving you in the skill tree.
Yeah, and then Blitz said this in the chat, and this is something I want to bring up too, because it is important. Because remember, David Jaffe, older gentleman, right? Age creeps up on you. So Blitz goes, I used to beat Shinobi in the arcade with maybe 1 or 2 continues when I was 10 years old. I got it on Switch and it's kicking my ass. Skills depreciate after a while too. That's another factor. Because when you're younger, you got those reflexes and shit.
Your eyes aren't as good as they were before. You could see. I told you that I experienced playing Call of Duty with my son. It's like how he was seeing shit all. I'm like, what are you pointing? And he's just firing, and then I see the point system go. I'm like, oh shit, there was somebody there to kill. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I remember that happened to me when I was and this was fucking Modern Warfare 2, you know? Like, my friend Mike, he had the game and stuff, and I'm just messing around with it, and his brother's pointing out all the enemies. I'm like, where do you see these guys? I don't fucking see this shit. You know, this was like, what, 12 years ago, you know? So I don't know, man. So yeah, age definitely creeps up on you. So David Jaffe, he's older than any of us. So it's like, yeah, you ain't gonna be fucking with no Returnal, dude. You know. But even Returnal, that thing is not as even NES games were more fair than that fucking game. You know. Because at least you had the same level and you just had to learn. That's it. This thing's just switching shit up on you. But again, I'm not really ragging on Returnal as much as I am on roguelikes. I don't like that genre.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
Like that was not a roguelike. Roguelikes, you have something that carries over, some reason to keep running the same gauntlet over and over again, because you can. It's sort of like, yeah, you have to start over, but you can build up power. You can collect different cards, or upgrade your weapons or something like that. So you can still slowly grind your way through the difficulty. This is just punishing.
Yeah, again, the game actively hates you, It's like, oh, you want to play me? All right, bro, let's go. But even with something like that's not as crazy as like Hades, I play that for an hour and like, I'm good. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore, Fucking you're playing for an hour, you don't make any progress. Like, what the fuck is this shit, I ain't got time for that. That's some more adult shit right there too, Like, man, I got other shit to do, bro. Like, my time is precious. I got 2 hours of game. And I'm playing through the same fucking level for 2 hours. Fuck this shit, All right, man. Moving on here. Okay. This is an interesting one. Is there a developer that you have gone from really liking / loving to avoiding? He goes, for me, it's Ubisoft. Oh, Adam.
No,
Ubisoft.
I think.
You triggered Adam.
That's for everyone.
Yo, how dare you put this question through, Tony? Where's the filter? Yo, show some respect. Put respect on this shit. God damn.
Yeah. Let me finish the rest of this question. Let me finish the question though. I used to buy pretty much every one of their big games, but now all the releases are just the same recycled shit over and over. And now with them shifting focus to more games as a service, I somehow care even less for their content. Damn. Tell me how you really feel.
No, I agree with that, because remember I talked about it last week. That frontline shit, that PvP shit, I was not on it. I was like, no, this is whack. This is a dark zone, but first person, and they're doing a lot of that. Yeah, so I get it. And then remember, Broke Point, that was a letdown. And with all the stuff that they've been doing, and then of course you see with the reviews and everything going on with the new Far Cry, where it's like, yeah, it's the same old shit. Put in shit that you had in other modes and just recycle it in a somewhat different environment. Yeah, so I agree with that. Yeah, it's been a while, but I do have my favorites until they get tarnished like that, like The Division. That's still up there, and right now my Ghost Recon it's getting a little dirty, but they're trying to fix it up. They added the NPCs and all that stuff, the AI team made. So I just downloaded the updates. There was a massive update, and now that I got my review stuff out the way, hopefully on Monday, I'll put in some time, put some work in, and I'll be back on Thursday to discuss my findings on it. But yeah, I get what he's saying, though. They definitely have been falling into a rut as of late with some of their newer IPs. Because remember, they kept saying, oh, yeah, we got all these new IPs, we're bringing all this shit.
I remember that.
And it all starts feeling the same now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you got this new shit, but you're just recycling same old gameplay on top of this shit. And we still got that Rainbow Six with Extraction, where the fuck that alien shit coming. It's like, I'm not looking forward to that. Next, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's PvP. You'll get to play as the alien too." And I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want this shit."
Oh no, we don't need that again.
I don't need that shit.
Carlos, can I say what I think is gonna be the obvious one that you're gonna pick?
Well, you don't think you know.
EA.
Oh, it's not that. Oh, come on, Tony. It was easy. It was
you don't even know.
This was mine. Like, again, and this is how long it's been. On Throwdown, this is the early days when we were asked who was your favorite developer. I'm like, EA is my favorite fucking developer, because they had, at that point, they had BioWare and Burnout. Think about it. Like, they had fucking Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Dead Space, and Burnout. I was like, yo, EA's the fucking shit, But now, and it's funny because even back then, I just looked behind my shoulder. I'm like, yeah, EA. You know, because like all the games were just from EA. Here's the thing. I gotta jump in with Ubisoft too a little bit though, just a little bit. Because the Assassin's Creed games have been falling off. Where the fuck? I gotta go on a rant right now, bro.
Oh,
Where the fuck is Splinter Cell? Where the fuck is Prince of Persia? Where the fuck is Rayman?
What happened at Prince of Persia one? Remember that got
delayed.
It's
because people saw what it looked like, you know. So Ubisoft is kind of there too, and you're right. A lot of their games, they're feeling the same. You know, like open world, massive maps, all this shit. It's like, all right, guys, what are we doing here? Bring Splinter. And you know why? This is why I think they haven't brought back Splinter Cell, you know, and Rayman, because they can't make them into those type of games. You know, like an open world Splinter Cell game would not work. Open world Rayman would not work. Open world Prince of Persia would not work. You know, Prince of Persia has effectively been co-opted by Assassin's Creed, and that's a whole other thing now. You know, but yeah, I'm gonna go with EA, man. They fell off hard. I used to love me some EA. You know.
Logic wins. He's like, yeah, Skull and Bones is in the Phantom Zone.
Oh shit! All right, Carlos. Since I got it wrong, who's the answer?
Well, I guess you technically kind of got it right. I was just gonna say BioWare.
Yeah, but yeah, they're part of EA, so I'm lumping them all together. You know.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, okay, you got it. You got it right. You got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, go ahead, bro.
Because I think there isn't. There's some companies that I'm
By the way, I do need to say this. Yes, I realize that EA and Ubisoft are publishers, but fuck it, I'm allowing it. You know, go ahead.
Yeah, Ubisoft has gone down the drain for me because I used to play all the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah,
and I just I can't get excited for them because it's just the same shit over and over again. And they're bloated. Like from everything that I've heard from like people here and people on the internet, they always say it's fucking bloated ass game.
They don't need to be as big. Valhalla does not need to keep growing.
No, why is that game 50 fucking hours long? Yo,
yeah, it is
50 million hours long. I'm so for like 130 hours playing this fucking game.
No,
you know.
A lot of the same shit, and then I'm still over there raiding the monasteries to get supplies so that way I can go to the next level. It doesn't need to be that serious. Just make it like 20, 30 hours, wrap it up, and done. Roll the credits.
I got shit to
do, like
we
did back in the day. Exactly. Yeah. I can't. They want you literally to spend the entire year playing one game. That's what it is.
Well, not only that, Watch Dogs, I don't even want to play two after
that was a fail. Yeah. I put in like 10 hours and that was it. I was like, this is epic fail.
It was one of the biggest letdowns in my gaming history. That and you know, I was gonna say Cyberpunk, but I think Watch Dogs was a worse disappointment than Cyberpunk because for me that shit was unplayable, literally on my PC.
And the good things in Cyberpunk were better than anything in Watch Dogs. You know, because the world in Cyberpunk is still fucking awesome. You know.
Yeah, it's just a jangly mess. Yeah. But
I'm just getting fucked up right now by a developer that I think Chris is going to name. Somebody already named him. I'm like, damn, that's a perfect one. Anyway, go on, Carlos.
Well, I got one that Manny's going to say. Yeah, Ubisoft. Ubisoft. No. Ubisoft has the Assassin's Creed franchise, which I love, that went down. It has Splinter Cell, which I loved, and it's nowhere to be seen, especially since Metal Gear Solid had left a huge hole in you know these types of games. And Adam, you're gonna hate me, but you already do anyways.
Don't do it.
The Division.
You don't even want to play Gears of War with you, man.
God damn.
Yeah,
I've always been disappointed by that game, especially I got Division day one, man. That shit was just super disappointing for me. And
I love it. That's one of my favorite games.
No drones, no anything, man. It looked like shit compared to what the trailers were showing.
Oh, it looked just as good.
Remember they were playing the demo and they're shooting the glass off of the cars.
Adam, that shit did not look anywhere near as good as that fucking reveal, man. That shit was crazy. Fuck out of here, man.
It was nowhere close.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
man.
The only
that
thing I noticed that was missing were two things. One, the drone that you had, which they had difficulty trying to implement, which is why it didn't debut until Division 2. And then where they were going to have your buddy work as an overseer, like a commander through the iPhone app or the Android app, or whatever the fuck. And they couldn't get that to work either. So then they scrapped that. Those are the two key things that I noticed did not come out part of
and it
Division.
didn't look as good as it did.
Oh,
And it was
I
like
mean,
a corridor shooter. Everything would like seem like suffocating.
you were
It
outside
was
in the streets
it was
of
super
the
disappointing.
city.
And yeah, like Ubisoft, man. Ubisoft, EA. I used to play all the fucking Maddens. I used to play all the not NBAs, the
Oh, the
FIFAs.
FIFAs.
I used to
Oh,
play all
people,
that stuff
people.
every year.
I used to play before I got banned. Me too. They motherfuckers still ban me. I still can't fucking.
Oh,
So yeah,
Bastards.
I gotta say EA because they messed up that, and obviously the whole Bioware scenario where Mass Effect was just demolished, and Anthem, and yeah.
Oh, Anthem.
Anthem. Wow, I forgot about that one.
Oh, God.
I remember remember Tony when we were playing the demo,
Yeah. Oh, that
and we
was
were like, we try to we try to be excited for this, but we just couldn't.
it was bad. It was bad. All right, man. Chris, get in here.
I was gonna say Konami.
That's what everybody in the chat is saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one I was gonna say for Manny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Konami.
absolutely. What a fall from grace. Just how they handled themselves with everything, the loss of talent, how they treated Kojima on the way out the door, and just where they're at now. They're just rehashing stuff, making collections and shit, making like gambling machines. Like it's a disgrace from what they were.
Chris, you know what really brought it home to me, man? When the Nintendo Mini came out, or SNES Mini, both of those, right? I was like, yo, this, a good quarter of these games have that, the Konami logo. Like, what happened to this company, bro?
Yeah, they made the best beat 'em ups, the best action games, like the hard games we knew as kids. Like a good number of them was Konami games.
Dude,
Shit, the
back
game of
back
the
then,
hobby, the
yeah.
Ninja Turtles. That was Konami.
Yeah, back
Yeah, the
then,
beat 'em up Ninja
if it said Konami, you were getting a good game, guaranteed. You know,
Yeah.
Castlevania,
all that shit. You know, Contra, bruh.
Yeah.
Man, by the way, if you would have asked me this question 2016, my answer actually would have been Capcom, because they were falling the fuck off.
They were.
God damn it, Tony.
You know,
Oh,
no, but the thing is, then 2017 they came back. You know, they redeemed themselves for Resident Evil 7 and then Monster Hunter and all that shit. But 2016, that's when Street Fighter 5 came out. I'm like, all right, bro, you've been taking too many L's, Capcom. You know, but Brian, is that your current one?
No, I was about to say the exact same thing. Like
Yeah.
if this question was asked like years ago, I say Capcom as well.
Yeah, Capcom.
Like I was in that space when like Capcom was just fucking up majorly on so many fronts, but then they turned themselves around.
Yeah. I wish Konami
I actually
would
have a
do
question.
that. Oh, what's up?
That was the question. Like, do you think Konami can do the same?
I hope. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem, because the thing is, they have no incentive to. They make money off gaming. Is a side hustle for Konami. You know, like video gaming. Like they make money off their hotels at pachinko and shit. They don't care about gaming. Capcom, they need to make games. You know, they can't be fucking around. Otherwise, they just like PlayStation at this point too. You know, Sony. But yeah, Brian, I don't know, man. Like Konami, the efforts they're doing now, they don't lead me to believe that they even care. To be honest, these little collections and shit. So I don't know. Again, they don't have the incentive to. Konami could literally drop their entire gaming division and be just fine. You know.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. My answer to the question is EA.
Yeah.
EA fallen off quite hard, and I've been a fan of EA games for like years on end. I mean, like way back in the PS2 days when they had so many good games on the PS2. You know, like first of all, there was the Need for Speed games, like back when they were actually good games.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I remember Black.
I remember.
Oh,
Black.
yes,
Yeah,
I love
Black.
that
Yeah,
game.
Black was dope.
I played the
Like,
hell out of it.
Man,
It's
EA
been
fucking
how
up.
many years, and yet we have nothing that comes close to Black. That's weird. Like, Black was running on a PS2, which is as powerful as your smartwatch.
Hmm.
You know, it's like you have a game that can literally run on a toaster these days, but yet there's no game that comes close to it, which is really fucked up. And then you had the Mercenaries games. Oh my gosh. Mercenaries was like the Just Cause before Just Cause. It was just so nice. You know, like you literally just
remember
played as a
those.
dude.
Yeah,
who
they were
gave
funny. It
no
was just
fuck.
so over the top. You start shooting, blowing shit up. You just cause havoc. Just
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
it's like that's when the EA were like, "Hey, let's just do like cool games," and that's when they actually did a good Star Wars Battlefront game. You know, it's like, it was so good, and yeah, now EA, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Like they're just saying, "Hey, let's do FIFA and Madden, and let's just make bland the game," and that's it.
Man, EA. All right, Brett, what about you? What's the developer you loved and now you're like, what the fuck?
BioWare.
Yeah.
And
man.
it's I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. The potential, man. And the thing is, when you play the Mass Effect Remastered trilogy, you're like, what happened to these guys, man?
Yeah, like you guys used to be just an amazing studio that everything you touched was fucking gold. And like it was innovative and it was, story. It pushed the boundaries of the medium as a storytelling device. And then they just went to fucking Andromeda. It's just
And then Anthem. I know you liked it, Brett, but
I mean, no. Anthem was what it was. It was a mindless activity game. Didn't say it was good.
yeah, fair enough.
It's like a Transformers movie. Sure, it'll entertain you for a couple hours, but is it good? No.
But the potential is there.
Yeah.
You would think they would be the ones to realize it. When you said, "Hey, you're a space wizard and you're like Iron Man," how could you go wrong?
I don't know.
But
Well, they went wrong. Like they didn't even know what made that game good because the best part was something they threw in at the last second and didn't even build the game around.
Yeah.
That shit is crazy, man. All right, any others? Just for the fuck of it.
I mean, Squaresoft a little bit.
Yeah, you can see. I can see that.
Just not a fan of the direction that the Final Fantasies have kind of gone in the last handful of years.
Yeah, I just want them to come out faster. It's like, stop taking so goddamn long.
Yeah, but Tony, you're looking forward to that new Final Fantasy, though.
Oh, of course I am. My thing is like, it's not really with this Final Fantasy so much as like, what happened to the other RPGs you guys used to put out? You know?
Yeah.
So my beef is not really with the Final Fantasy. It's more like, what about the other shit you guys used to do? And again, I also don't like the fact that these Final Fantasy games take forever to come out.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's like 75% of what they do is like trash, and then it's like just this quarter. It's like, but I still want that, but it's like they screw up everywhere else. Like, God, I can't believe that Avengers game. Embarrassing.
Yeah. But just focusing on just the Square part of it, do they do anything but Final Fantasy these days?
Shit, are they doing that Guardians game, or is that like they're just publishing that?
That's Crystal Eidos. Excuse me, that's Eidos.
That's Eidos. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then no.
No, I think that's all they do. They just do Final Fantasy. Like, where's Chrono Trigger? Where's all this other stuff they used to do?
Yeah.
They did Secret of Mana, right? Was that Squaresoft?
Yeah, I mean they put out that the remake of Trials or
yeah, that was weird. But it's just a bunch of remakes. Final Fantasy remakes just came out too. Well, I mean that was dope, the Final Fantasy 7, but I'm talking about the Pixel remakes. I like them. It's just you gotta like go into the files and change the font around because like you got to go into the actual files themselves and shit, put code or whatever. Because I don't know why they chose that shit. Anyway, moving on here. Got a third question from Mr. Tumeke because after this we only got one more for the night. Not a lot of questions this week. Is there a developer better at recycling their IPs more than Nintendo? Oh man. Yo, you're right. Madden and FIFA.
EA Sports, yeah. Well, if you look at EA Sports, like that's a pinnacle. Year after year, the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
They sprinkle a few little here and there, and they're like, it's new, $60.
Yeah, but I think he's talking about more like, you see Mario in every fucking game,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Shit, damn, I don't know.
Damn, Mario, I didn't know you got a doctor's degree, bruh.
Yeah, he was a doctor. He's a race car
He's playing
driver.
he's golfing.
He's golf. He could run in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Dude could do it all.
That's amazing. He still
Never
got a
loses
gut,
weight.
too. Yeah, never loses weight. Like, how?
Never loses weight.
He must be eating a lot,
Yeah, and he's got some kind of hyperhidrosis. That's why he always wears gloves, because he got sweaty hands.
You know what? Maybe Mario has a condition. Maybe we shouldn't be making fun of him. You know what I'm saying?
He
Maybe got a condition going on.
Got a condition.
No, but I understand what he's saying. Like, Nintendo milks the fuck out of their IPs,
But it's also the nostalgia, because we grew up with it. We grew up with it. That's the whole thing. We grew up with it, and I'm sure the next generation is going to go through it. Our kids, Chris' kids, they're going to have something that they gravitate to, and then when they get older, and we're going to be like, why do you keep buying this shit? That's what I grew up with, Dad. Shut up. And we're like, oh, God, here we go.
Shut up, Dad. I hate you.
There you go. This is why I ran off with Jimmy. I hate you and Mom. I'm like, oh, my God.
Like, where did I fuck up?
Exactly.
Yeah, right?
That's it. That's what you always hear from us. Yeah?
Oh, man. All right, that was a kind of a fun question there. So the last question will be from Mr. Chakzilla. Make sure I got everything set up here. Do I have it set up? Yes, I do. All right. Oh, before that though, a little side thing here. He goes, Tony, that new PC you got is slick. I look forward to your thoughts on the upgraded rig. My thoughts are, it's fucking amazing. That's my thoughts. I'm obviously not gonna review it, but yeah, it's dope. Like, dude, I'm playing games at 4K, 60 frames, even higher sometimes. Ray tracing on some games. It's crazy, man. It's good stuff. Cyberpunk though, man, that game is still fucked up. It looks nice with the ray tracing, but it's still buggy as shit.
Wow.
All right. So his question is, he did have. By the way, he also had another question. Like, what game? That scored low did you like? But we kind of answered that before, So this one is, which upcoming games will set new graphics standards, which will push graphics cards to their limit and move the industry forward in terms of graphics? I've noticed Chakzilla's been asking a lot of PC-centric questions, so I think he's going to be heading in that direction if he hasn't already, which is pretty cool. So yeah, what games are we expecting to push graphical boundaries and set new
Grand
standards?
Theft Auto 6.
Whatever the fuck that comes out.
Yeah, whenever that comes out, it better be the almighty that only like 4 computers could ever run it, because there's only one special card, and you gotta like go to like a Christie's auction to get it. I don't know. It's got to be something ridiculous.
I don't know. But Rockstar's never done that.
Yeah, they never have. Yo, what about Star Citizen though, bro?
Star Citizen has to wait for the 5000 series of NVIDIA cards.
Oh, yeah, right.
That's why it's taking so long.
They're waiting, man.
They're waiting.
But no, nothing that I've seen looks like it's going to be a graphically. Most games are still going to be cross-gen,
Yes, yeah.
Well, don't expect any big leaps. As a matter of fact, I have a side question for you guys. Will we ever have a day where we're like, yo, is that, can your computer run that? Like Crysis? Will we ever have that again?
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, remember when we had Crysis, right? Remember Crysis?
Oh, Crysis! I thought you were talking like a computer crisis.
No.
We're in one now.
Oh, yeah, no.
Game. I was like, what? Adam's like, what? Y2K?
Hey,
yeah. No, but remember when Crysis came out,
change the CMOS.
Yeah, for years the question was, can it run Crysis though? Will we have another one of those games in the future?
It's always possible. We don't know what people are working, but the way it is now, it's sort of like what we said. It's all about getting your game on everything. So even if one is in the works, there's always going to be a higher up. It's like, can it run on this, and that? Well, that's not what we're aiming. Well, that's what our shareholders are aiming for. So you need to scrap that shit. Go back, dumb it down, make that shit work on phones, tablets, that shit Nintendo got, whatever they call it, the Gitchy or whatever, Switchy, put on that shit too. I don't care. Make it happen.
Yeah, you're kind of hitting what I think is going to be the case. Not really, because everything needs to run on everything now. Like it would be dope though. Like a PC developer go fuck this shit. You know, we're gonna make something that we can't even run on our computers. You know, like we need ILM to run this shit. You know,
you need money though. That's the thing.
Yeah, so that's not gonna happen. Go ahead.
I actually disagree. I actually think it will happen, but it definitely won't come from any studio that we know of. Or put it in another way, it could potentially be out there. We just don't know about it because it's from like a studio who's like small and never done something beforehand, and they just pushed it out there. Because what did Crytek do before Crysis? Or was Crysis their first thing?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because if Crysis was like the first thing, it's like, hey, this is a new studio, this is the first game, and look at it, it's the can it run this game people. Oh no, they did Far Cry before. Okay, enough.
There we go. Yeah, but the thing is, like, wouldn't you need like a lot of money for a game like that?
Probably, but then again, with like engines these days and assets, I have no idea. I generally have no idea.
Yeah, because this is what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm wrong in my thinking, but I'm thinking it has to be something that's running on like a proprietary engine. Like if it's running on Unreal 5, then other people could do it too. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, it ran in their own engine.
Yeah, it has to run on their own engine. You know, so it has to be a game that's running on a proprietary engine that probably has a lot of money behind it. Unless Jeff Bezos is going, I'm going to fund these indie guys in the fucking Ukraine or something. You know.
Well, he's sending William Shatner to space. So.
Yeah, we just got our answer. Never mind. We got our answer.
Is he going? Is William Shatner?
Yeah,
he's going. And
let me.
Yeah. Our boy Tom Cruise, friend of the show, he said he was going to go.
Yeah. By the way, Chris, thank you for saying that. I was just about to say that he's going to low Earth orbit. That's all these guys do. They don't go into space. You know?
Yeah.
No, but Tom Cruise is going to be filming actually in space. Like he's on a space station. He wants to go. And
the space stations are in low Earth orbit too, bro.
But I mean, that's still space.
No,
I mean,
not.
you can't just walk out and
it's not space
with a parachute.
Yeah, but it's not space. Like you gotta.
Yeah, it's like if he was filming on the moon, I'd be like, all right, I give you full credit. All right,
but still, I mean, I take it unless you can just grab a parachute. Yo, this shit's burning. I gotta go back to the planet. You can't do that from that height. You're stuck. You're floating.
Yeah, but it's not space. You know, just
if you float, you're in space. That's what I see.
Like to me, I'm like, yo, if you're between Earth and Mars in that area, yeah, then you're in space. You know, you're out of the gravity. You're out of the gravity. That's not deep space though. You're still in the solar system. You know. What the hell? I saw. Oh yeah. By the way, we got our answer for the game that's going to push graphical boundaries. Thank you for telling me that, Blitz.
The new Ninja Turtle game.
No, Abandoned.
Oh yeah, Abandoned.
Oh
yeah. That's why
I knew it.
It's going to push back.
I was like, it's going to be like some sort of joke game. So my guess was going to be Life of Black Tiger 2. I'm like, he's going to say that, isn't he?
No, Abandoned. You know, it's going to be the new. Can it run Abandoned though?
I just remembered. This is completely off key, but sort of to do with what we just talked about now. Agents got removed from Rockstar's website.
Oh
yeah.
Shit!
Uh-oh.
They were tired of people asking about it. Like, listen, it's just never happening.
Like, just shuffle it off, man. Maybe they won't notice. You know. There you go, Carlos. Man, we got to pour one out, man.
Apparently, they would put another review or interview, and that's when they're like, "No, it's not happening." And then right afterwards, they just removed the shit. They're like, "We're just tired of people talking about it or asking."
I guess we can't talk about that game anymore.
man.
Damn, the agent. What happened?
What happened? Remember StarCraft Ghost? That was another one. What happened? Big franchises that you thought, this will take off. No, it didn't. Big studio behind it. Put some money. It must have really sucked for them to scrap that one and leave some of the other games that they produced out.
Yeah. I can't really think of any games that are going to be like, oh my fucking God, look at that shit. You know?
I think because it just depends on which type of game it is. Because if it's like an EA game or a Ubisoft game, it's like they're just gonna try to make it work on everything.
Yeah, exactly. I think games running on like Unreal 5 are gonna look fucking crazy, but I don't think they're gonna be setting industry standards because it's an engine that anybody could use. Like Wukong looks fucking tight, right? but that's not really going to be setting new standards because it's just running on an engine that's available to everybody, you know?
Yeah, so I think I don't know. Give me Star Citizen. Fuck it.
Nah, there you go.
Take it.
Take it. They go to space in that shit.
They do. Deep space.
Deep space, you know?
South of Jersey.
The final frontier.
Yeah, William Shatner, he's just going to be floating around. Ah, yes, I went to space.
Finally.
Floating. Maybe he'll record an album up there, you know?
Or a Priceline commercial.
Yeah, or, oh, shit.
Oh, does he? The truth, I haven't seen a Priceline commercial in a long time. I think when the pandemic happened, nobody was traveling. So
that shit is gone.
They're like, why even advertise it?
Yo, I haven't read it yet, but I ran across this article and I saved it for later. Like someone bemoaning the fact that nobody wears suits anymore because of the pandemic. You know, because everybody works from home and shit.
The suit sales went down.
They went down, yeah, because
we saw a few. Remember, Brooks Brothers went out of business.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is, they were going down even before the pandemic.
Yeah,
you know?
but this was.
Yeah,
because the whole business casual started taking over.
Yeah. That was before the pandemic. Business casual already started becoming a thing. But I know some friends, like, you know, like what they do is they kind of have like these suits that are just a suit in the front, and the back is nothing. You know, so when they do business calls and shit, you know, with like shareholders or whatever, they just put on a fucking fake suit. You know,
that's pretty lazy. You know, because I mean, what's the trouble with just putting on a shirt, wrap a tie, and a blazer, and you're done. You could freaking have your tidy whities underneath, and not.
Like my man has this whole rig where he like puts his hands through and it like, you know, adjusts a little bit, and that's it. Oh man, that shit is crazy. But anyway, we are done with the show. Another good one. Adam, do you have anything to plug?
Oh, got another episode. This is that season. We'll just say mid-season finale for The Walking Dead proper Mothership. That is for season 11, episode 8. For blood. Ooh. Just like Pete Steele said. No, you can cut that. This is it.
No nuke for you, bitch.
Next week. Fear the Walking Dead comes back, season 7, episode 1. See what happened after the fallout of the nuke.
Oh.
Carlos, you joining us, right? You gotta watch it, gotta do it, so that way you can say it once we open. The nuke. That's it. Just always watch that one. If you don't like it, then you don't have to do it no more. But I'm telling you, you're gonna like it.
I have to play it back for blood and have to start from scratch.
Oh,
no.
There you go.
Bullshit.
Speaking of that, my review of Back for Blood is now up on thecoalition.com. Check it out if you're not sure about picking it up, or if you want to play it in Game Pass. No sweat off your back. Just fucking download and play it when that goes live on Tuesday. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And and then World Beyond. Yeah, we did covered episode 2, World Beyond. That show is still trash. We only have 8 more episodes of that trash show. we specify that it's trash. You don't need to watch it. You can just listen to us rant about it, because there are some tie-ins to Walking Dead proper that's in there. So we get a little useful information, but the overall narrative is garbage. And that's it. That's what's going on, man.
Going on in the streets. I may or may not, emphasis on may, have a review of Back for Blood myself, you know, so stay tuned for that. I don't know if I'm going to be as angry as Adam, but I have some things to say, you know.
Well, we were both playing when that shit happened, so we both had the same horrible experience.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's disheartening for sure. We're talking about the cross progression thing, but we're not a secret. We talked about it on Twitter, you know. It's like, bro, how, like, no, we're not playing Evolve. Fuck that. Syrian Air Force. Fuck that game. You know. All right, man. We're out here, so make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter and join.
And they turned those servers off.
Which one?
Was it the Evolve one? I'm pretty
shit.
sure that one it failed. That was their version of the PvP, sort of like what we see with Swarm, and I'm pretty sure they turned those servers off.
Well, Evolve was like asymmetrical. It's funny because like people are like, oh, maybe those kind of games don't work. Then fucking Dead by Daylight came out and just proved them all wrong, you know, and Friday the 13th as well, you know. But yeah,
with Predator, I don't think did that great.
Yeah, Predator did all right, you know. Throwdown, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, any podcast app on Earth, you know, not Earth, you know. Actually, as a matter of fact, we are in low Earth orbit. Yeah, Earth orbit. Fuck, I can't even say that. That is a tongue twister. I sounded like fucking what was it? Damn, I forget the guy's name now. The alien, you know, for the
Manny?
No, not him. Oh my
you
god,
mean, What, Mork and Mindy?
Thank you,
Shit?
Mork. Yeah, I'm sounding like Mork.
Nano.
Yeah, nano. There you go. Low
Nano.
Earth. Damn it, I can't say that shit now. Low
Low Earth
Earth
orbit.
orbit. Yeah.
Oh, you psyched yourself out, man.
Yeah, I did. That's not space though. Yeah, throwdownshow.com, past episodes, and YouTube if you're watching us, man. Oh, by the way, YouTube guys, apologies for the late episode last week because of Twitch. I can't fucking export shit, and I gotta upload them manually, until they fix that. Fucking bullshit, bro.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Anyway, if you like the episode, hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when episodes go up, whether they be late or not. And links to everything down
speaking
below.
of that,
Adam, I'm trying to do the fucking outro, man.
No, but this is related. It's related to all of this. For those who, whether it's the Throwdown or the I Am Negan on Spotify, they now included a little notification option. There's a little bell. So you can just check a little bell for the podcast, and whenever there's another episode that pops up on there, it'll just boop.
Oh, for Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify.
Oh, shit,
it's new.
that's dope.
They just added a little notification for podcasts. So
Yo,
we're on there.
yeah, Barry Burton, I missed you at Comic-Con, too. He says he was in low Earth orbit as well, Shit.
He was in lower deck.
He was in lower decks. There's a new Star Trek cartoon, by the way. They were advertising it at Comic-Con. Another one.
Not lower deck, a different one?
No, a different one. Like,
Prodigy?
Yeah, Prodigy.
Is that it?
I don't know about that, bro.
I'm the fire starter. Get the fire starter.
With the fire star.
Burn this ship down.
Yeah, right. I'm the instigate. Those guys had British accents in those fucking songs, man. Hardcore,
Yeah. R.I.P. Keith Flynn.
Yeah. All right, man. Anyway, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Yo, man, make sure to get my... Oh, it's too late now. Comic-Con's over. Peace.
All right, Adam Vale.
Enjoy Indigenous People Day tomorrow.
Day off, baby. Brett Murdoch.
It's been real, people.
And Brian Manjoma.
So then, is it fair to say that we are in low sun orbit?
Yes. We are pretty close, Although if you are Mercury, you'd be close as a motherfucker,
Damn. The day that sun blows out, we fucked.
Oh, don't worry. There's not going to be any life left on the planet by that time that happens.
It's going to be The Road.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yo, shit. Yeah, there's not even going to be life on the planet by that point,
Yeah, don't worry, Adam. It'll have expanded and swallowed us whole long before then.
This is true.
Woohoo!
Well, as soon as it starts expanding, it's like crisp. That's it. Even bacteria is going to be gone, No more Rona. No more Rona.
I will have something to say. By that time, it will be okay to pirate Metroid Dread.
There you go. Mike will be Dread.
Yo, go buy the game. Don't pirate this shit, people.
Yeah, man, don't do that. Don't be that guy. Only if it's old shit, like we said, and it's outdated, and you can't buy it anywhere, then it makes perfect sense because no one can make money.
If you want to pirate, the fucking oh my god, I'm forgetting the name.
TurboGrafx.
TurboGrafx. Go ahead.
Old ass.
If you want to, that's what I want. If you want to emulate Way of the Warrior, you go right ahead. They don't make the 3DO anymore.
Yeah, no more 3DO shits. Yeah.
Yeah, but new shit, no. Buy the fucking game.
Yeah, support the devs, man.
Mercury Stream made this game, right?
Yeah,
they're
that's what I'm saying.
Good developers.
Come on now.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Thursday people.
Be some people too, man.
Yeah, they're people. All right, man. Later.
This is
Peace.
Peace.